Despite her repeated denials, Beyonce was paid.
Who was she paid by?
Cardi B was paid. Okay? Cardi B, who famously said she wasn't paid, her production company was paid to show up. Katy Perry was paid. Christina Aguilera was paid. Oprah wasn't paid $1 million. She was paid $2 million. Okay? Let's be very clear.
$2 million.
$2 million to Harpo Productions.
Tell me about Beyonce.
Despite her repeated denials, Beyonce was paid.
Who was she paid by?
The Harris campaign. She was paid tens of thousands of dollars to not sing. Well, no, she refused to sing. She was paid tens of thousands of dollars to give a speech that no one wanted to hear. And Kamala Harris thought all of these people came out to Texas to hear her speak. Yeah, right. They came to hear Beyonce sing. And you know what? This is the second time they failed to deliver Beyonce. The first time was at the DNC. They promised that Beyonce would perform. Beyonce did not perform. So that was letdown number one. Letdown number two, they went to Texas to prop up this candidate who could never beat Ted Cruz, Colin Allred. And they told NBC News that Beyonce would perform. Beyonce came out and gave this speech, this boring ass speech, and just left without performing. And then Kamala Harris got booed. She got drowned in boos because people didn't really care what she had to say. They were there to hear Queen Bee. So that was number one. Beyonce was paid, show up. Cardi B was paid. Okay? Cardi B, who famously said she wasn't paid, her production company was paid to show up. Katy Perry was paid. Christina Aguilera was paid. These people were all paid. And Oprah wasn't paid $1 million. She was paid $2 million. Okay, let's be very clear.
$2 million.
$2 million to Harpo Productions. Who owns Harpo Productions? Flip Harpo backwards. It spells out Oprah. It's Oprah's production company. It was paid $2 million to put on that town hall in which Meryl Streep calls her Madam President. It was a love fest for Kamala Harris. So Oprah was paid $2 million. And who else? Al Sharpton was paid $500,000 moments before he interviewed her, okay? An MSNBC anchor, Al Sharpton, was paid money. A so-called journalist was paid money moments before he interviewed the vice president. People like Roland Martin, who are attacking me now, he was paid $350,000 to interview Kamala. Advertising costs, okay? Advertising costs, wink, wink, to interview Kamala Harris. The Pennsylvania Democratic Party was paid $25 million after the chair raised hell for not being paid enough street money. Street money is just a boondoggle. It's a cauldron of corruption. They just hand out money to ward leaders. And so this is how donor money was spent. Donor money was basically set on fire for 5-star hotels, luxury trips, private, charter planes, just this ridiculous stuff. And a lot of these donors are hardworking Americans. I had people giving anywhere from $10 to $15 all the way to $1 million. All of them worked hard for their money. And if they knew that their money was spent this way, they never would have given.
There's a lot of corruption coming out right now about USAID. Did they fund any of this campaign?
I don't think they funded any of the Harris campaign, but the Democrats are so pissed off and freaking out about USAID because Trump got it. He hit it on the nail. That's where the corruption is. And we need to look into what happened with that missing Ukraine money. All those billions that were supposed to go over there, and Zelensky said he never got it. What the hell happened to that money? Why are we funding transgender operas around the world? Why? Why are we funding DEI programs, not only here at home, but across the globe? Someone's got to answer for it. And you can tell that we hit the target by how angry they are.
Yeah. Man, I don't think what's it going to take for the Democratic Party to turn things around?
They have someone who wants to abolish the Second Amendment and ICE and who wants to defund the police running the party now. So I don't think they're going to be out of the woods for the next 10 years. I think it's going to be golden era for
I think they're going to have to
conservatives.
be honest with the American people and admit a lot of faults. And it's going to take somebody really tough to turn that around. But
I don't see anyone on the horizon, do you? And I went down the list. And I can tell you why all of the people they have. One last thing I'll say, Obama, at this point in 2004, 2008, everyone knew that Obama was going to run for president because he had given that famous DNC speech in 2004. Now, at this time in the cycle, there's no one of that stature, of that talent on the Democratic side. All right? They just have no one waiting in the wings of that caliber.
yeah, it seems like all the moderates have switched. Before one other question. You know, we were talking, I brought up Biden's doctors and how they said
Kevin
that
O'Connor.
what's his name?
Kevin O'Connor.
I've always wondered who it was. But, you know, there's a lot of people that think that he was basically doped up before he would get on TV or get on and give a speech or whatever. Is there any truth to that?
I only want to tell you things that I've seen with my own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I do know that he likely took something before the State of the Union.
I was wondering because I was there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was there for that. And he seemed sharp at the beginning and then
Yeah.
that kind of went
Yeah.
downhill there towards the
And
end.
like clockwork, all the Democrats are praising him to the high heavens for simply reading off the teleprompter. That's not a high bar to jump over, okay?
Yeah.
Anyone who has a rudimentary understanding of English can read off a screen.
Yeah.
It didn't require any impromptu thinking on his part.
So any rumors of, I mean, you were in there. Were there any rumors of him getting doped up, Adderall?
Oh, there were plenty of rumors, but Shawn, I'm here to
Pro-visual.
give you the facts. Like everything I've said to you so far has been like proven or I've seen it with my own two eyes. I've never seen him get doped up, but there were plenty of rumors that he would get doped up before every major event. Like for example, after the debate, he went to North Carolina. It was basically it was a life or death moment for his campaign. He had to prove that he was still ready to continue his race. The rumor was that he took something. You know, the night after the debate, he basically self-destructed before the eyes of the whole world. So the next day, he had to prove that he could still keep going. And that's what we were told, that he got some sort of injection or whatever before he went on stage in North Carolina. But I wasn't there to see that, and I don't want to, I can't say for sure. But
So even within the Democratic crowd, they knew something was going on.
oh yeah, absolutely. Because it was night and day. His energy level, he would be like Pee Wee Herman in one moment and then just be like Mahatma Gandhi the next. You know, like it would just be night and day. His energy level, the delta between the two was just really significant. Yeah, it just, for example, the previous night, he was like, we finally beat Medicare. And the next day, he was like hollering on stage. It's like two different people.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.